Is there still a beef going on with you and Big?
It was never a beef. It's only a difference in opinion.
Right.
To me, if I like my homeboy Suge gave me the best advice I could ever give from anybody. He said when people ask him if he's beefing with Bad Boy with Puffy, he says like me going to a playground and picking on a little kid.
Right.
That's like me being mad at my little brother because he getting cash now. No, I'm not mad at that. I'm just mad at my little brother when he don't respect me.
Yeah.
Now, when you don't respect me, I'm gonna spank your ass. I don't give a fuck how rich you got on the block. I'm your big brother. I will break your big ass down.
Artists that want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
The East Coast don't love Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. The East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Death Row. Y'all don't love us. Y'all don't love us. Well, let it be known then. We don't fuck. We know y'all East Coast. We know fuck. We at East Coast and F.
Like we always do about this time.
Yo, hey man, all right, yo, the year is 1995. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. You can say this was like the last, and I mean the last really dominating year when it comes to the West Coast, okay? In particular, G-Funk, all right? 1995 was going crazy, okay? Still, the West Coast still had the game in the chokehold, but you could kind of say there was like a little bit of cracks, all right, starting to form. But again, West Coast still was dominating the radio. Visually, it was still all over TV. All right, MTV, BT, everybody and their mama still was visually seeing nothing but West Coast rappers. Okay, they still was doing their thing. Again, they slowly creeping into Hollywood, getting into show business. You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg was on. I think he did a live performance on New York Undercover. Nate Dogg, he also performed as well too. He was in episodes of Martin. You have like a lot of West Coast guys, you know, showing up, popping up in TV shows, doing commercials. They doing a whole bunch of stuff because again, the West Coast was that dominating. All right. Now, again, dog, people say 1995 is like the best year when it comes to hip hop. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people dropped a lot of albums in 1995, but I'm gonna try to specifically talk about only West Coast rappers, obviously, in this G-Funk video. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had to write down how many West Coast rappers dropped albums in 1995. And yo, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, it was a very, very long list. So yo, give me a second, I gotta pull this out. So freaking hear me out here. Again, I gotta read from a list, bro. Because how many rappers dropped an album in 1995? West Coast alone. So of course you had Too Short with Cocktails. You had freaking South Central Cartel, they dropped. DJ Quick with Safe and Sound. I mean, bro, that alone, you guys already know. Like, come on, man. You had Brother Lynch, Hung from the Bay Area. Of course, Tupac, Me Against the World. I mean, come on, like, come on, that's regarded as one of the best albums ever made, okay? You had E40 in a major way. And the crazy thing about it, freaking Pac and E40, both their albums dropped on the same day. I mean, yo, you guys was eating good in 1995. I'm not gonna lie. You guys was eating. Freaking King T drop, 11-5 drop, Mad CJ Mac drop, True Game. Like, come on, we touched on that album in the in my 1993 video, right? Yeah, my 1993 video. We touched on that album. AMG drop, Ballin' Out of Control. We talked about that. Freaking CeeLo drop, Mac 10 drop. Freaking CeeLo drop. Come on, bro. Nah, I said, my bad. I said CeeLo. Skilo. Skilo. My bad, you guys, man. I mean, yo, who else dropped in 95? Again, I had to write a list, bro. Freaking Papa LQ, The Far Side. Oh my God, bro. The Far Side. Come on, dog. Ray Love, BG Knockout and Draysta, The Dove Shack, The Twins, MC Hammer, RBX, Souls of Mischief, Kid Frost, Cypress Hill, The Dog Pound. Come on, man. The Click, Coolio. I mean, god damn. And again, that's only freaking like West Coast rappers dropping albums. We're not even talking about all of hip hop, but that's how crazy and insane 1995 really was. But it's like I was saying, the West Coast still had a stranglehold. They still was going crazy in 1995. Now, of course, we got to talk about, obviously, the movie soundtracks, okay? Now, again, like I was saying, you feel me? The West Coast was going crazy when it comes to creeping into Hollywood. Now, before we talk about the soundtracks, I'm just going to briefly talk about some of the movies. Now, of course, in 1995, I mean, when you think of 95, you think of West Coast, you got to talk about, obviously, freaking Friday. All right. It's a hood classic. All right. The movie take place in South Central. You already know your boy Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, they did their thing. It's a movie that I love to pop on any given day I could watch. All right. You guys let me know, what was you guys' favorite Friday movie? Rank them. Okay. This may sound crazy, but if I had to rank them, I'm going to put Next Friday as number 1. Friday used to be my favorite, but over the years I've been watching more and more Next Friday. I got to put Next Friday at number 1, Friday at number 2, Friday After Next at number 3. But overall, they're all great movies. But again, West Coast was going crazy. All right. You have freaking, Higher Learning. Okay. Higher Learning. I mean, that's a great social commentary of a movie, by the way. John Singleton directed it. Ice Cube also was in it. Omar Epps. I mean, that movie is crazy. It touches on a lot of racial tensions, you know what I'm saying, of what was going on and just normal society, but also too, you could say, in the West Coast. All right. You know what I mean? It touched on like discrimination, the LAPD. Everybody hate LAPD. Well, campus security, but you know, still, again, racial tensions that was going on in America at the time. But Higher Learning is another one that predominantly West Coast influence, and it touches on a whole bunch of stuff, for real. Tales from the Hood, it touches on police brutality, you know what I mean, your environment. But again, like, those movies, West Coast dominated, and it had great soundtracks. So let's double back. All right, the Friday soundtrack, you guys already know, you guys love it. It's a fabulous soundtrack. They had 2 singles. The first single, Keep Them Hands Ringing by Dr. Dre.
Green to keep your eyes slanted. So check the flavor that I'm bringing. The motherfucking DRE. I keep their motherfucking heads ringing. Yeah. Keep the heads ringing. Yeah, come on.
Come on, bro. Whenever you hear bloop, 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 blah, ring, ding, dong, you guys already know. You guys love it, bro. Like, come on, bro. The other one, Ice Cube, Friday.
You know it ain't no stopping all the dogs I'm dropping. It's Friday night, so everything is popping. I got stand to spin on the hand, so let the game.
But you guys already know, you know, that song in particular actually sparked the beef that he had with Cypress Hill. Now, I feel as if, you know, everybody love to talk about Hit 'Em Up. It's like one of the best diss tracks ever made, obviously. Rightfully so. I feel as if freaking West Side Connection's King of the Hill diss record towards Cypress Hills don't get talked about enough. All right. That diss record, hands down, is a great diss record. Ice Cube, he know how to just make diss records, bro. But again, that sparked it, that one song, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But that whole soundtrack is dope. Even the song that Cypress Hill had, Roll It Up, Smoke It Up, Inhale, Exhale. I love it. And of course, that soundtrack went freaking double platinum. I mean, goddamn. Again, this is a time when movie soundtracks was like a major deal. And again, West Coast dominated as usual. All right. We had the next soundtrack, Tales from the Hood. Now, this actually had, I believe, 2 singles, but only one single was actually successful, and that was from your boy Domino, which we talked about in the 94 video, and that song was called Tales from the Hood. I love that song. I love how he's harmonizing, singing on it. The video is dope. There's a lot of cameos in that video as well too. Again, you know, West Coast laced. You feel me? West Coast rappers all over it. And that soundtrack actually went gold. So that's not pretty bad. If you want to talk about movie soundtracks, especially in 1995, you got to bring up Dangerous Minds, okay? And you want to talk about West Coast, of course, Gangsta's Paradise.
Look at the situation they got me facing.
Again, that's West Coast rappers. Coolio, LV. That was by far the biggest song in 1995, man. Like, you guys could let me know, how big was that song? Like, explain to me, like, when you guys first heard that record, how did it make you feel? Like, what were you guys experiencing when you heard that record? By the way, Dangerous Minds, a really nice movie on top of that. But yeah, again, West Coast rappers dominating, bro. Dominating. Another soundtrack you want to talk about? The Show. All right. And I'm going to bring this soundtrack up because there's one song in particular that I think is really dope. It still touches on the sound of G-Funk. And the song that I'm talking about is the song with Warren G and the Twins called You Still Can't Fade It.
They say it don't change, and here's a fact you should know. That niggas gon' hustle no matter where your ass go. So when you think wrong, I'm thinking right. Are you a friend to me? Gotta be wise, cause everything ain't what it seems to be.
You can never fade Fiji, they're so crazy when they start to blaze after dark.
That song there, go hard. Again, it touches on all the sounds of G-Funk. Come on, bro. West Coast. They going crazy. I mean, you know, just to kind of sidetrack, just briefly, you can't talk about 1995 and not bring up the O.J. Simpson trials. Again, it happened in L.A., Los Angeles. This is how big the West Coast was going crazy. All right. The O.J. Simpson trial was literally like the #1 thing that was on TV. All right. You know, the fact that during the 94 NBA Finals, they had to cut to a live broadcast of him and his little, his high speed chase that was going on.
In this first half, we will send it to NBC News. Here's Tom Brokaw.
Thank you, Marv. We are looking once again at pictures of Al Cowling's cars that makes its way along a freeway in Los Angeles in the south central part of that area. And we are told by the California Highway Patrol that O.J. Simpson is in that car holding a gun to his head. He has been in touch with a police highway dispatcher saying he wants to be taken to his mother. He wants to see her.
But, the O.J. Simpson trial was big because all of America was watching, and it also dealt with, freaking racial tensions as well, too. Of course, Black America believe he didn't do it. White America mainly believe he did do it. LAPD at the time was very, very crooked, and, a lot of the rappers during that time obviously rapped about police brutality, the racism, the discrimination that was going on. So that trial was really, really huge and really, really monumental, for all of America, honestly, and it was really, really crazy to even think about it. And then you got to also think too, like 2-3 years before that, what's the riots from the Rodney King trials or whatever. So, Los Angeles was the topic of discussion as always. It was crazy. But also too, back to music, you got to talk about some of these award shows, okay? Now, you can't talk about award shows, especially in 1995, and you cannot bring up, obviously, the 1995 Source Awards.
We did it, Brooklyn, we did it! All of we did it! But nothing. All of them. Well, love to all y'all motherfuckers.
Now, everybody knows this already. This was monumental. This is huge. It's kind of crazy to think that this was only the second freaking annual award show that the Source did. And I mean, by far, it's the most known. Suge went up on stage. He said what he said. Danny Boy over there, they turned up or whatever. They had the whole freaking arena going, going crazy and pissed off. Snoop Dogg getting mad. It was so much tensions, going during that night. And I think it's kind of funny, like, because I like to kind of look back at, remember when Jermaine Dupri and the Brat was performing, and like literally, like the crowd was not engaged, or they did not give a funk at what they was listening to up on stage. And like in between the performance, Jermaine Dupri and the Brat, they like talking amongst themselves, like, yo, like this is crazy, like, yo, like come on, like damn, I'm not feeling this, like.
My mic ain't loud enough. And plus they won't let us curse in here. Biggie, what's up? The Brat is the fantastic, romantic, single-handed bandit. Damn.
I always go back at that performance and I laugh because it's like, damn, bro, like at the time the South had something to say, but they wasn't hearing them at that moment in time. It was just East and West Coast. And of course, that was a boiling point of the whole East Coast, West Coast war. And it's crazy because I forgot to even mention in my 94 video, the fact that Tupac got shot. You guys already know that, the quad shooting, he got shot. Later on, he got sent to jail over some allegations. Bro, it's crazy. You know what I mean? All these reports coming out saying he got raped or whatever, and just all this egregious stuff about Pac. And he came out really, really angry and really, really pissed off. So you had that. You had the shooting going on. You had all these false claims and allegations against him. Then you had his Vibe magazine interview that come out. Okay, you had the Source Awards incident. And then, again, you could really say the rappers wasn't the ones to really blow this East Coast, West Coast thing out of proportion. You guys already know that. It was the media, okay? Number one, the Source magazine. They was goddamn printing out copies. They was eating this thing up. They sold a lot of issues of their magazines. Vibe magazine, okay? Printing out stories. That cover with Biggie and Puffy on the cover or whatever. East Coast, West Coast war. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Like, how they was documenting this in real time and just escalating, adding fuel to the fire. Okay, they be asking people questions because they want to get a type of response, a reaction out of these rappers during that time. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it was really, really insane and crazy. You had regular like CNN, ABC, Fox, regular news channels. They're covering specials on the East Coast, West Coast war. Okay, they the ones who dubbed it that. All right, they calling rap dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It gang related. All right, like it was crazy. You had MTV News is another big one of that was just covering this topic. I mean, again, the media was the ones that really blew everything out of proportions. Yes, you had responses from certain rappers, but it was really the media really driving this narrative. And again, I mean, it made for something special, but it ended in tragedy, which we all know. But it was a very, very, very crazy moment in 1995. But enough of that, enough for the recap. We're gonna talk about some underrated West Coast G-Funk albums. And honestly, you guys, I had a fun time with some of these picks that I put in this list here. Some you guys told me, some I kind of did a little bit digging on my own. But enough talking, let's get right into it. All right, now the first artist we're gonna talk about now, this person here is a legend. Okay, I feel as if this person doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to West Coast rappers. All right, this person has done a lot. This person was rapping since I think 1990 or 91 or whatever. And the rapper that I'm talking about is freaking Yo. All right, you guys already know she's a legend, bro. She really is. And the fact that it was really only her and Lady of Rage, and I guess you could throw a Boss in there too, that was really doing things pertaining to the West Coast. But the fact that she dropped several albums and Lady of Rage only had one album, from my knowledge, for the 90s is pretty crazy. But Yo was doing her thing. In 1996, she dropped an album, her fourth album, called Total Control. And literally, like what the title suggests, she had full total control of making this album. Now, this is the first album that Ice Cube was not involved in it, as in just like, you know, creatively and sound wise. This was all her doing. She produced basically this whole album, but she also had the help of Warren G, DJ Battlecat, and DJ Unique as well too. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had a great time with this album. To me, this album is a non-skip album. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. This is a fantastic album, a 10 out of 10. And you could tell she was kind of chasing more commercial appeal, because I also seen a slight video or article where she said she wanted to embrace more of her feminine side or whatever. She didn't want to be as hardcore no more, because I mean, Yo-Yo is a really nice looking woman, you know what I'm saying, we being honest. And yeah, she wanted to really embrace that, you feel me? Now she had a video, I believe only one video off this album, and it was called Same Old Thing.
Double shifts if he can, is when the shifts won't change. Same everyday things, can't maintain. I call my girls looking.
That song there, dope record, bro. Like really, really dope record. Now, honestly, like I said, like I love this whole album. Freaking, I think the intro. What's the intro? The intro with her and MC Light. I think it's called One for the Cuties.
One for the cutie, two for the cutie with the big D. One for the cutie, two for the cutie with the big D. Three for the cutie with the big D with money. You got it going on, honey. Now we just like to know how low can you go. I keep him on lockdown, but I gets around. He can tie me up, I'll be damned. I let him tie me down, doing what I like, where I want, when.
Listen, how her and MC Light was like bouncing off of each other or whatever. Listen, dawg, the funky beats, they wordplay, song is freaking dope. The song that I like, Yo-Yo Funk. Bro, listen, dawg, this whole album is just laced with just freaking just like perfection, bro, like real talk. Another song that I like, Thank You Boo.
They helped you get your money, you better come real. This ain't no crash test dummy. I was more than enough, all the woman you needed. Yeah, that's what I thought until your bitch ass cheated. Thank you for making me be by myself again. So tell your homies you can hang out with no curfew. Since I'm a burden, now I'm rolling with my girl crew.
Bro, listen, this album, I'm really mad that this album didn't sell. Like it was a commercial failure, which I think that's what led to her not they shelved her other album. I think it was called Albino or something like that. I could be wrong, but you know, this was like her last album that she released, you know, because the other one was leaked. But it's like, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a fantastic album. You know, I don't know when in '96 this album was released. Maybe this was after, you know, Pac dying, or maybe it was before. Again, I don't know. But this is a stellar album. Again, every song on this album I like. Like, this is a great album. But if you guys didn't listen to this Yo-Yo album, yo, give it a listen. And you guys did tell me about this album. Now, I'm not gonna lie, only one person suggested this album to me, and I'm glad that they did, because again, this album was freaking incredible. All right, yo, so okay, the next album, well, the next person that we're gonna talk about, all right, I'm feeling his style. This was actually my first time like hearing like a full complete album from this rapper, and I am talking about your boy Cam. Okay, and the album we talking about was released in 1995, and that was Made in America. Listen here, this album is top freaking tier. Okay, I'm glad that I heard this album, man. And you know, he produced some of this, of course. This is another DJ Battlecat Lace production. Warren G as well, Code 187 as well too. Yo, this album is phenomenal. Okay, now he had two singles, well, two videos that he did drop. One was In Traffic.
Stuck out like that, cause fools out here, no doubt like that. The toys looking fat in his detail. Rounded up the boards and then we bail. In traffic, watching the cars go by. Nobody's catching the new ride. When I test the slide, I'll let them ride. I'm in traffic, watching the cars go by.
which is also a smooth, dope record. And then another song, which this is one of my favorites actually, and that's Pull Your Whole Card.
Before you come up missing, we got ways to handle people who don't want to listen. With respect from the streets to the cell blocks. Somebody might find your tongue and your ears in a mailbox. The hell shocks a hoe and broke her down. Yes, I guess the card that was pulled was a joker clown. To be a hoe, don't make me pull your whole card. He's supposed to.
And you know what? It's really funny because I feel like that song, to me at least, that song kind of reminds me of Mass CJ Max song, Powder Puff. For some reason, that song reminds me of that because it's obviously like the same message. And you can even throw freaking what's that Ice Cube song, Truth to the Game. Like those songs to me kind of run in that same vein, you know what I mean? But that Pull Your Whole Card, yo, I love that song. Like that song is also funny too. But again, this album, I mean, is laced, and I mean laced with just nothing but fantastic beats. I love how Cam is coming on these tracks. Sometimes he's coming on there kind of hardcore, and some he'll give you like a positive message, you feel me? Now, some of my favorite songs, like I said, Pull Your Whole. I love Trust Nobody. I love that song. That song is dope. And I love Keep the Peace.
Don't class, give your brother a pass. Say I go, but be careful who you hit up. Trying to get a rep or get that young ass lit up. So get up and stand up for this black thing. And y'all brothers who gang bang, try to keep the peace.
Run away, cause I'm back. Get 'em up, split 'em up, dang.
Stop the chillin' and the resting.
But like overall, like I said, like this is a fantastic album. I am glad that I listened to this album. Now I know a couple of you guys suggest to listen to his previous album in '93. I think it's called Never Again. But this one here, Made in America, yo, this is by far a very, very stellar album. I mean, really good. All right, now, yo, this next album or these next rappers that we're gonna talk about, okay, it's kind of crazy because, yo, this is another like group of rappers that this is really my first time listening to a full-length album from them. Okay, like a full-length album. And honestly, this album blew me away. This album blew me away. I am talking about OFTB, Operation from the Bottom, and they album released in 1992, straight up Watts. Yo, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 album. Okay, 10 out of 10. Now it's pretty dope because this album this album sounds to me a lot like Straight Outta Compton, if I'm being honest with you guys. Okay, maybe because it was released in 92. You know what I mean? But it kind of sounds like that, you know? But again, OFTB, bro, this group, yo, classics, legends, bro. Again, like they had one video off of this, and I think it was called Slinging Dope.
We couldn't be convicted in your highest court. We got lights to deal this dope and get paid. You better change your plans if you think about our rate. You see, we once cooked the cop like a Tom Turkey roast. Operation from the bottom, slanging dope. Give me another hit, give me another hit, give me another hit of that bomb shit.
But yo, like I love the energy from them. You know what's crazy? I kind of feel like, and I saw like one comment when I was like bumping this album on YouTube, right? To me, like their vocals, how they sound, the energy, how they coming on the track. To me, I feel like they sound like Ghetto Boys, man. In particular, the We Can't Be Stopped album in like '91. To me, they sound like Ghetto Boys, man. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. You guys can let me know on the comparison. But like, those were like the vibes I was getting, especially off that song, off this album called Criminal at Large.
I gotta do or die, it's the old school way. It's the same old shit every motherfucking day. I saw the day's paper, my bitch made front page. The Deutsch young gangster on a rampage. The shit's getting thick and times have gotten hard. I gotta stay in charge, I'm a criminal at large.
Now, when you hear that song, you cannot sit here and tell me that doesn't give you the vibes of freaking Mind of a Lunatic off the Ghetto Boys album. I'm telling you guys right now, to me, it reminds me of Mind of a Lunatic. I'm just keeping it a buck with you guys. But I love that song. Of course, We Not From Compton.
Is that a fact? Nah, but I'm sure it was something like that. Where I'm from, niggas are rogue, fuck being ruthless. If you're ruthless, ass to be toothless. Miles in the velvet flip side, straight stomping.
and I ain't from Compton.
Straight up what? Straight up what? Straight up what?
Listen, bro, that shoo, hey, they, you know, it's funny because it's like, damn, bro, I thought Tim Dog was the only one that was talking bad about Compton. I ain't gonna lie, they came on that motherfucker hot. I ain't from Compton, like, god damn, hold up. But yo, that song hard. They got another song on there that I like. I think it's called Ride That Monkey. That song funny too. And I also like the track, The Land That I think it's called The Land That I Roam. That song is also good too. But again, like, this album blew me away. And this was my first time hearing a full-length album from them. Cause you know, I heard little songs like how they was on, I think the Above the Rim soundtrack. I think the gang related soundtrack, what's that, in like 97? Cause they had that song Body and Soul with Joel. But I've never heard, or even like unreleased songs, but like I've never heard a full-length album from them. And honestly, I'm glad that I did. You know, it kind of sucks because Death Row had a crazy roster, right? Death Row had a lot of artists on their label, and I don't know if it because it was like Suge's doing, maybe Dre was tired. Of course, Dre done left because again, 95, it was a lot of tensions going on in 95, and then he eventually left in 96. But they still had a whole arsenal of producers at the helm. But it's like, damn, like Death Row just couldn't get it together. Like they had so many rappers on that label that they didn't push their albums, that they didn't get released. And I want to say a fashionable time, or they never got released at all. It's crazy. All right, yo. So the next artist that we are going to talk about is pretty crazy. Okay, this album is again a 10 out of 10. All right, if I'm keeping it a buck, we talking about Second to None. Okay, and the album that we're gonna talk about is an album that was supposed to come out in 1994, but it got shelved and it got leaked in I think either 2007 or 2008. And the album I'm talking about is called The Shit. Yo, look here, bro. That album is so freaking good. And DJ Quick produced the whole thing. The whole thing. Whenever you get DJ Quick producing some stuff, you already know it's chef's kiss, dog. The beats, how funky everything is, bro. Second to None, dope, man. And again, this is another example of what I just literally just previously talked about with OFTB. They was on goddamn Death Row. Second to None was on Death Row, man. And again, I don't know if Suge just didn't know how to freaking push all of these rappers out at the same time. Like he should have hollered at goddamn Master P, because then Master P dropped like 28 albums in one goddamn year. Like he should have called up Master P and was like, bro, how do you do this? Because you cannot sit here and tell me, bruh, you had OFTB, you had Second to None, you had all these other rappers on your label, and yet their albums was not getting pushed. Their album got shelved for reasons I don't know. I don't know if it's due to contracts. Like I don't know. You guys, please let me know why this album got shelved. But again, like phenomenal. They actually had one video off this album, and that was Didn't Mind to Turn You On.
Make it too good for you, baby. Now peep, KK's another kid. Still down for the loving, but no further to fringe. You see, I gotta play it like I always say it, you know. Girl, I gotta go. Now see. Baby, I really didn't mean to turn you on. I didn't mean to turn you on.
Now the crazy thing about it is that song is on the Above the Rim soundtrack. You feel me? So again, like I don't know if, you know, they already had the whole album completed. Then it was like, nah, we ain't gonna release it. Maybe contracts, I don't know. But it's like, you know, we'll throw this on the Above the Rim soundtrack. Maybe that was the case. I don't know. Please, you guys, let me know. Tell me what happened, because I know you guys know what happened. You guys lived it. Let me know. Songs on this album that I love, Nothing Has Changed.
Make shit nappy, man. Make a lap off that bullshit. Cause I still got a card note to deal with. And I'ma bring this up to all of y'all attention. It's only right that a nigga must mention that nothing has changed.
Yo, smooth record. I love it. It's the singing, everything on it, bro. Track is incredible. Another song, The Dog in Me. Bro, I love it, dog. I freaking love it, dog. All right. Now, you know, it's crazy because you kind of hear this in like the mixtape era, you know, in the 2010s and stuff like that, where you will hear like a beat being used by an artist and then it's being used by another artist. And I'm not gonna lie, the song, dang, what was the name of the song? Can't Wait to Do This.
House party jumping off in the mob, where we can roll max some hoes and do the job. Who got the most numbers? Who got their Mac on? You didn't pull a hoe? We gotta take you home. Cause my freak done told me her little panties was way on hot. I'm about to hit that spot cause I'm chilling with my crew and nothing else to do. Looking for some hoes and we getting right through.
Now that song, that beat was actually used by the Lynch Mob for that song. It was, I think it was off their Gorillas in the Mist album, and the song was called Lord Have Mercy.
They try to creep, taking her ass to love her sleep. I admit I'm a sinner. Did what I had to do just to get dinner. But I was told you was the first chick. LA is a war zone, Lord. So could you have mercy?
You know who the fuck Jesus is.
So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of jumped out of my seat because when I heard the second to none version, I was like, oh snap, like the Lynch Mob used that beat. But again, I forgot, oh yeah, they never released this album. So they probably gave that beat to some, you know, obviously the Lynch Mob. It was crazy. But again, like, I just wish that they was able to release this album, because if they did, this album would have went platinum. Like, and like for real, like this album is that good. This is to me another 10 out of 10. This album definitely would have went platinum. But yo, if you guys haven't heard this Second to None album, give it a listen, bro. It don't disappoint. All right, yo, the next artist that we're gonna talk about, again, this is what, the third one in a row that I'm saying. Death Row had their hands on them. Death Row had their hands on them, but yet they couldn't do much with them. They dropped one album. I'm talking about Young Soldiers, okay? And they dropped their album back in 1994 called Young Soldiers. All right? Again, Death Row's roster was insane, bro. I just don't know how they folded. Well, of course, legal issues, Suge, the killing of Tupac, obviously. But it's like, man, like still, even after that, and of course, mainstream media was tired of the whole G-Funk thing and violence and all that, whoop-de-woo. But whatever. I'm just saying, like, Death Row had a huge and incredible freaking roster of rappers. It's crazy. But yeah, Young Soldiers. So, you know, I know that they came from the whole Bloods and Crip project, the Banging on Wax albums, which that is still on my to listen list. I still got to listen to it. I will if I do drop another video. That'll definitely be on the last one. But yeah, I know they came from that. But again, this was a solid album. Okay, is it a 10 out of 10 for me? No, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys, but it was still a solid listen. Now, I love the two singles that they released for this album. Okay, the first one, Alligator.
Reptile like to get big and get high. Scaly, cute, and chubby, living on cause I'm so fat. Don't get it twisted, flipping girlies like flapjacks. I'm out of here, pump tricks hot. See you later, trick, you just got bit by the alligator. I'm the alligator, trick. See you later, I'm the alligator, trick. See you later, I'm the alligator, trick.
I love that song. I think that probably, to me, that's probably the best song on this album. Oh, you know, I lied. I actually like the other single that they released, and it was called If Tomorrow Comes.
Lost to a gang fight, lost to the state pen, I lost in another night. And you're gonna tell me in my heart you see sorrow, but who's gonna tell me if I ever see tomorrow? If tomorrow comes, you maintain a lifestyle other than yours, you know what I'm saying? Living life face to face with death every month, you know what I'm saying?
I like that song a lot. I think that is a really, really nice song. Now with Young Soldiers, I feel as if they have a lot of energy. You feel me? Hardcore, like, hey, they be talking some gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. But they had another song in there that I like. It's called Stressing If I Ain't Living Right. Mama said there'll be days like this.
With me. My young nigga dog, check this clip, said let's do it, bro. It's me and you, nigga, it's time to go, we out. Before I could move, 9 cars had our shit stuck. It's just all luck, all fuck. Now we washed up, sitting in the county stressed out on some wild shit. And I'm kinda pissed, cause mama said there'd be days like this.
Now, I like that song a lot too. I think that's also a really good song. And then there's another song that I really like. I think it's called The Morning Man. My bad, it was called In the Morning Man. But yeah, like overall, I thought this was a solid album. again, you know what I'm saying? I think it's okay. The previous albums that I done mentioned, I had a better time with it. But yeah, this was still a solid album. But again, Death Row had a lot of freaking rappers, bro. And I feel as if they kind of mismanaged or dropped the ball when it comes to some of these artists, if I'm just keeping it a buck. But yeah, Young Soldiers, this was still a solid album. Give it a listen if you guys have not heard it already. Now, the crazy thing about, the next like group of rappers that I'm gonna touch on is that in my last video, you guys was informing me to listen to a rapper from freaking Phoenix, Arizona, and that was Vontel. Now, I love this album so much that I looked up Bookie. Okay, Bookie, he had an album back in I think '98 called Stressin'. That album was dope too. So because of those two rappers, I was like, you know what? I need to dig a little bit deeper when it comes to freaking Phoenix, Arizona, the Arizona rap scene, at least in the freaking mid to late 1990s. Now, you guys made a suggestion of a rapper that I need to listen to, and we're gonna talk about him. Let's go. Now, like how I previously stated, man, it's pretty incredible that Arizona had a G-Funk movement as well too, and it blew my freaking mind that this was going on. It just sucks that, again, it wasn't no major label in freaking, Arizona. Again, Death Row was killing shit in the West Coast or whatever. Then you had North California, the mob music. They was doing everything independent, you know what I'm saying? But Arizona didn't have it. But the rapper that you guys put me on, his name is called I Rock, okay? And he had an album released in 1996 called Finally on the Map. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this was a good album, but I like Vontel album a little bit more. The thing is, he literally produced like this whole damn album, and that's really dope. Like, he produced literally this whole thing. And another producer called, I think, The Music Producer. No, my fault. The Music Doctor. Yeah, the producer's called The Music Doctor. He had his hands on a couple tracks as well too. But I Rock, he produced damn near the whole album. And again, this album is laced with G-Funk goodness. I'm not even gonna lie. The best track off this album is called Already Knowing. Bro, the singing, the feel good bouncy nature of it, what they rapping about, bro, it don't get more G-Funk than that. Yo, that song, hands down, is freaking incredible. He got another song on there that I really, really love, and it's called Humpin'.
Chapter of your life, you fucking actor, go rehearse. Before you need a nurse, a chiropractor, you lack the skills to beat me. So back up off my tip, big tank, Southside product clip, got you humping.
Honestly, it's pretty cool because, like, doing a little bit of research, because again, the Arizona rap scene is very, very hard. It's super underground. It is hard to really, really dig up on. But, he signed himself, okay? He had his own label, I Rock Records, okay? And this album it has a lot of features of like a lot of freaking Arizona rappers I never even heard of. Honestly, I don't think they did nothing else after that. I could be wrong. It must have been a lot of his homeboys or whatever. It's like this album to me feels like The Chronic, because Dre had so many features, Snoop, Lady Rage, The Dog Pound, Warren G, Nate Dogg, like he had all of them before they was even known. So the fact that, I Rock, he had, I think, guys called like Big Dame and like all these other people. He got them, like, I mean, they're damn near on like every song on this album, if I'm being honest. But again, this album is really, really cool. It's still a good listen. Another song that I like, You Will Never Be Forgotten.
It hurted to see you go. I want you to hear this rap and say that I see you know. The pain that you've been through, I'm meant the next 50 years. A nigga cry 50 tears. You will never be forgotten.
I think that's a nice and beautiful song too. But again, like this album is dope. I just wish he had a goddamn video, bro. Like I looked all over online. There's no freaking video of him. Like nothing. I haven't seen like an interview of this man. I haven't seen a video of him. And it sucks because again, the Arizona scene, they didn't have nothing as big or monumental what LA or the Bay Area was doing. Kind of sucks. But give his album a listen because I still had a fun time listening to it. All right, now we're gonna stay in Arizona. Like I'm ending the video off with like Arizona rappers because again, I was just so amazed and just freaking dumbfounded of like, oh my gosh, like Arizona was really cooking up and going crazy when it comes to G-Funk. Now, the next rapper, I can say this guy here, he is the biggest when it comes to the Arizona area, if we being honest with each other. Okay, and I'm talking about your boy MC Magic, all right? And he dropped his first album back in 1995 called Don't Worry, all right? Now the thing about MC Magic is that he was a really, really big force when it comes to Chicano rap, all right? The whole Latin, you know what I'm saying, hip hop scene. So Arizona was really big on that, which is really dope because like I said, doing a little bit of digging, again, it ain't much things to find pertaining to this era of music in the 90s pertaining to Arizona. So I thought that was really, really dope and incredible. Now he had one video for his album and that was a song called Here It Comes.
Aquí estoy otra vez, yes, here I come. Número uno, number one when it comes to have fun. Dígale a todos que es tiempo, it's time. Es la hora para disfrutar. Así es que mi chiquita, abre pues tu corazón, porque traigo boom boom para toda la nación.
Another cool thing about him is that, you know, he founded his label called Nasty Boy Records, right? Now, again, he's the biggest artist to ever come out of freaking Arizona. Like, he is the biggest. Now, this album, again, Don't Worry, is really dope because he does a good blend of that G-Funk sound and like kind of like a romantic type of rap. And of course, he's also rapping in Spanish as well too. So I feel as if it's a really good blend when it comes to this album. Now he had another song on there called, I think it was called Let Me Do It To You.
So let me savor on your neighbor. I can't wait for the P-Funk flavor. Damn, your flesh is so tender. Lord have mercy, I surrender. I let you do it to me. Oh yeah, you sure about that, baby? I let you do it to me.
That was like the intro song. That song is dope and incredible. His biggest song, well, his biggest song at the time, I would say, is a song called, I think, Lost in Love. And he actually made a video for that song in 2021, which is, I think, is pretty dope that he actually made a video for a song he released way back in 1995. It's kind of cool. Some other songs that I like off this album, one track is called Excited.
Cause tonight is a party for me and you. Tomorrow night, same place, same time, and everything will be alright.
Another song in there is called Coming Out of PHX. That song is dope too. And the title track, Don't Worry. But again, overall, this is a very, very solid album. Very solid album. Touches on the G-Funk sound. Again, it touches on, like I said, Mexicans rapping, the Chicano rap scene, which is really, really dope. Really dope. If you guys haven't heard of MC Magic, or you did hear of him, sorry, you did hear of him, but you just didn't hear his first album, give it a listen. Like, it's pretty dope. And again, he's from Arizona, which is crazy. Now, the next artist that we're gonna talk about, again, we stand on Arizona, okay? Your boy freaking MC Magic was the one who founded them, all right? And we're talking about Nasty Boy Click, okay? He signed them to his label, Nasty Boy Records. Now, they had an album released in 1997 called The First Chapter. I'm not gonna lie, this is a very solid album. Now, again, they touch on the G-Funk sound. They touch on like a lot of like romantic type of pop-ish radio type of sound. You feel me? Another thing too, your boy Bookie was also in this group, but he left the group before they really started to touch on and be like, you know, successful. He was in the group because he's all over this album as well too, which is crazy. Now their biggest song is called Down for Yours.
Victoria's Secret champagne and bubble bath. Let the magic man rub you down like a magic lamp. And I'm getting 3 wishes. I like that.
Now that song actually have the OG himself, Roger Troutman, you know, lacing with some vocals on this goddamn song, which is dope. Your boy MC Magic was able to orchestrate that. Now another cool thing about this group is that like I said, Arizona, like, they was not known for anything in the 90s when it comes to music. So like MC Magic was really the first, and again, he's the largest Arizona rapper, but he was really the first one to get radio play. So freaking Kid Corona, somebody named Kid Corona, I think he was a DJ or something at one of those radio stations. He took a chance and he played the Lost in Love track, and it became an instant success. So again, they got signed, they dropped their album, and I know like the year after that they dropped the second album, they started touring or whatever. But again, like, this was a group that was actually getting radio airplay. Now their album actually was on the Billboard rap charts or whatever on top of that, this album. So I thought that was really dope too, like first of its kind pertaining to an Arizona rapper. Now the group also consisted of like 6 members, and the crazy thing about it, one of the members was freaking MC Magic's 10-year-old son, which I thought was just freaking ridiculous. But yo, hey, it is what it is, right? They had another hit off this album called AZ Side.
With the hydros, too swift in the mix in the background, making sure the honey's on the flow, get down. So get live and do what you do, cause we got the bomb from the 602.
Take a little trip. Take a little trip with me. Take a little trip. Take a little trip and see.
Now that song is dope too. Like that's a dope song. The beat was nice too. Bookie was rapping his ass off on there too. But yeah, that was a solid record as well too. Another song that was pretty dope, I think it was called Keep It Bumpin'. But the other song that I like is Get Your Back Off the Wall.
Cause it ain't nothing but the players ball. Get your back up off the wall. Everybody just dance. Come on. Now get your back up off the wall. Cause it ain't nothing but the players ball.
Now everybody wants to rule the world or be the top MC, but not me. I gotta be that true Mexican that I am. Won't forget.
Yeah, overall, like, it's pretty crazy to think that, you know, like, Arizona had rappers, especially in the 90s when it was all about the East Coast and the West Coast. But you would think like, okay, the Bay Area was doing their thing, of course LA was doing their thing, what about Arizona? You know, it's freaking amazing that you had this going on, and not much people is probably even talking about it, man, if I'm being honest with you guys. But yeah, pretty dope, really dope. And the last rapper that we're gonna talk about now, this rapper here is very like just unknown. Very unknown, but I just like what I heard, okay? And I'm talking about your boy C-Nut Loke. Now he had a cassette and it was called 19 EP. It was released in 1995. Now this EP is only like, it says 6 tracks, but it's really 3 tracks because he did like a shout out, then he remixed another song off the EP. But this is a pretty solid EP. It touches it. This is like a raw, gritty type of sound, G-funk as well too, just West Coast type of sound. You know, I kind of whatever little information I did find of him, you know, it was saying like these cassettes were being passed at like swap meets and stuff like that. So it was doing his rounds locally. Again, there's not a video of him. Like I can't really find anything else of him. I just see this tape and I like it. But the first track on there is called Kitchen.
Man, Phoenix, Arizona is home to me. Another loped out rowdy motherfucking city, infested with niggas that's always snitching. But them marks keep their ass about the kitchen. Keep your ass about the kitchen, man. The shit down here you can't understand. Stay out the kitchen, man.
Again, solid track. He got another track on there. It's called Big Blue Bull.
Big blue bull, homies in the hood getting fucked up. Yeah, big blue bull. You gotta be full when you're rolling with C. Now my homies always drinking by the 12 with a K, but a 40 and a half. I had you right in place. I'm picking up little low grown man, cool B, onion local little John. Have to be with me. Meet Nick Nack and face at the hit and run.
And that's a solid bump too, if I'm being honest with you guys. And he got another song in there called Nighttime Lokin.
What niggas need to do is start loking up. Nighttime loking, nigga. What niggas need to do is start loking up. Nighttime loking, nigga. What niggas need to do is start loking up late at night. That's when the hood get loud, getting buddy sitting up in the endo cloud.
But again, like I said, like this little EP, you know, it just sucks because it's lost media. You know, like probably not a lot of people know of this rapper. Probably some people do remember this rapper, but again, ain't nobody talking about him probably because Arizona did not have a mainstream hip hop scene, which is crazy to think. But I think this was a solid little EP that I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on. I mean, if you guys is from Arizona, have you guys heard this, you know, this EP back in 1995? You guys can let me know. He was on a record label called Beatdown Records. Again, probably a small indie record label, you know. But again, I thought it was just pretty crazy. But yo, as always, thank you guys for watching. You know, thank you guys for showing so much love for these Remember G-Funk era videos that I've been dropping. You know, I love the sound. I just love, you know, freaking discovering new music. Again, if there's any suggestions, you know, you guys let me know. I'm gonna respond to all the comments, whether it's good or bad. I'm gonna respond to you. I'm gonna respond to you. But if you got more suggestions, let me know, and I will make that mob music video. I will. I'm gonna make it. I am. It's just, there's a lot of suggestions you guys told me when it comes to mob music, and there's a lot of research I'm gonna have to do, for real. It's crazy. But again, as always, like, you guys let me know, what was you guys' favorite year when it comes to the G-Funk era? 92, 93, 4, 5, and I'm probably gonna do 96. 96 will be the last one. It will be the last one. But thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm out.